Well, we're just, the planning commission is working on the zoning for the wind. So we are, I guess, in the beginning stages. The chair of the planning commission has to be here. Would you like to add to that, Jim? Is that accurate? You can.
Yeah, I think that's accurate. We aren't planning on having a moratorium. The planning commission, all the members feel as though that we don't want this to be a long process. But that's not to say we're not putting a lot of thought into it. And I guess that's it. When we volunteered to be on this planning commission, we thought we were going to write a new ordinance for Palmyra Township, and then we were asked to do a new ordinance. It's not their fault; it's not anybody's fault. And so it might seem like maybe the process is going fast, but there's a lot of thought going into it. I would just tell John, I said, there's probably 2 nights a week I lay awake thinking about it. And no matter what decision we're going to make, someone's going to be upset. And that's the hard part. But the goal is to try and make a decision that benefits the township.
Have you guys how far away from home?
No.
You haven't come that far yet?
No, we're working on, all that stuff. And we haven't made, we all have kind of our own thoughts. Some of us have seen windmills, some of us haven't. And so we're not going to make that kind of a decision until we've all seen it. We've got another meeting, the 26th, I think it is. And so we'd like to hear from the last one that we had. There was hardly anybody there from Palmyra Township. We really would like to know what Palmyra Township residents want. 26, 7 o'clock.
Thank you.
Laura Van Camp. I'm just curious why Ogden Township and Fairfield Township, who are addressing this, have enacted 1-year moratoriums, and Ogden Township is a 6-month. I mean, Riga and Fairfield are 1 year, Ogden 6 months. Why Palmyra thinks that they're so well prepared and have really delved into all the issues that they're not needing to do this the same as the other townships. They feel that they're that much ahead of the game and know more than these others that are just right around the corner.
I guess I think there's a question possibly for the planning commission. I don't know.
Okay, I'll be there on the 26th.
Yes, sir. In the way back here.
My name's Travis Lavoy, 5840 Route Highway, and I'm just here to state my opinion. Anybody who's listening, this is something I'm a guest, and I'm asking for it's not maybe a 1-year moratorium, same as everybody else, for all of us to become aware, for the research to be done. I'm going to do my part to talk to my neighbors and anybody I can. I guess that's where I stand on it. It's not. Times are hard enough as it is with the value of what we have, and I don't think it's going to help us anything. So we need to look into it.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
I would just like, I'm a township resident, I would just like to comment.
Could you state your name, please?
Pat Timoney, I live in 8465 Rugit Road. This is the 4th meeting that I've been to, and ideally the Tigers would like to have this kind of behinds in their seats. And I know you folks would too, but usually there's half a dozen or more people here. And the planning commission has been working on this. You say it's new, but the first meeting I came to was in January, and they were talking about it in January, so it's not like they started yesterday.
Anybody else? Yes, sir.
Josh Van Camp. I'm a concerned Ogden Township resident. I have family that lives here in Palmyra, as well as family that lives close to the border with Palmyra Township. Has the board taken any position about the apparent violation of the Open Meetings Act that the Palmyra Zoning Commission has taken? It appears that they have taken the position of splitting into 2 sub-quorum committees of 3 people each to circumvent the Open Meetings Act. I'm not saying necessarily with malice or any kind of bad intent, but the intent of the Open Meetings Act is to pull the process, and in this case, the generation of a wind ordinance out in front of the public so that each step of the way the public is able to hear the types of information that your zoning commission is taking into consideration, and at the end of each night make comment both for and against the proposed wind ordinance. And Dr. Leonard talked at the last meeting. He said specifically, we've split into subcommittees of 3 apiece without adding a 4th person because that would be a quorum, acknowledging that the addition of a 4th person would constitute a quorum. There's Michigan case law that indicates that this is in fact a violation of the Open Meeting Act and is illegal. And I'd like to know what the board intends to do, if anything, about this.
Jim took that to our attorney. We're waiting for his response on it. And if we're in violation, we will correct it. This board has always been open to the public. We do not do anything behind the public's back. If we're in violation with the Open Meetings Act, we will change it. It's as simple as that. But your opinion might be different from our attorneys too, so we're waiting on that. John, you got a comment?
Yeah, I have a comment. I think that the difference, it's okay if you, subcommittees are used all the time to study or go over things. You just can't vote and make decisions. And as long as they follow those rules, and then they bring everything back and they talk about what they talk about in subcommittee, and a full board to make a decision, then everything's disclosed in public anyway. So.
Okay, thank you. This gentleman back there.
My name is Cody Sealer. I'm a resident of Palmyra, 5285 Cook Highway. I'm much concerned about the progress of the wind. I think that a 1-year moratorium for further study would absolutely be necessary, and I don't see a reason why we shouldn't set an absolute date so nothing can go faster, slower than what we all know. So I would absolutely want a 1-year moratorium for further study. Why not? And if that seems long, why not err on the side of caution rather than start something we cannot reverse? Once it starts, what do we do then? So I would absolutely request a 1-year moratorium. That's my feeling.
All right, thank you. Anybody else?
I'm Tony Pate. I live in Blissfield, and appreciate you having me at your meeting. I'm just a concerned citizen for the general community as a whole, Lenawee County as a whole. I've been going to other meetings in Riga and Ogden and so forth, and I just wanted to reiterate what I've heard already, that there's a lot of thought that needs to go into this. Bad decisions are made usually hastily. The ethanol plant moved along in a hasty fashion, and there's a great deal of Riga people that deeply regret a lot of information and a lot of things that weren't put into the ordinances behind that, and promises that were made to the people of the community and that live directly near the plant that were never followed through because they weren't put in hard writing. So, and just remember, the people that want to bring wind farms into this community and the people that boldly support the wind farms in this community usually have some greenbacks in the game and some financial interests in the game. I haven't run into a single person that is not against wind farms, but in generally in support of proper regulation for the safety, the health, the welfare, and the peace of our community. I haven't run into a single person that has any financial gain at heart. So we just have the betterment of our community at heart when we're looking at pushing for stricter regulation for the safety of the people and for the peace of our community and the quality and the value of our homes. So I know you've got a nice house, a windmill in your neighbor's yard would not do you any good. And I hope you look into it deeply. And I came to the Planning Commission meeting, and it looks like they are asking a lot of the right questions. I just hope they do take their time. I think they're doing a good job so far.
Okay, thank you. Yes, sir.
My name is Kevin Smith at 3670 South Crowser. Concerned citizen for a community that I moved to back from school. You know, we had opportunities outside of Michigan to move to, but we wanted to go back to the community where we grew up and near our family. And with the wind turbine and stuff, we're here to get informed and want the community to be informed as well and make appropriate decisions. And our main concern with our family is we have a special needs child, and she's prone to seizures and stuff. So if the flicker effect or whatever would be coming through our house, we would be moving out of the community, which we want to try to stay in. So, but we will continue to try to come to these meetings and be informed citizens.
Alrighty, thank you. Anybody else? Oh, sorry.
Hi, name's Robert Clemens, 4869 Neal Road. Just wanted to express my concern for the wind turbine and also request a one-year moratorium. I think we need some time to investigate. Jumping into this isn't going to do anyone any justice. And also was curious if we did any sort of sign-in for meetings, or if we could maybe do that, an optional sign-in at the door, so we know who is present at meetings.
That's real typical.
We've never had sign-in, but it's something to be considered.
Usually don't need a long sheet, do you?
No, not usually. This is probably the biggest one we've had in 3 or 4 years here, which we appreciate it. Be honest, we haven't had much public comment at our meetings on these wind turbines. So I appreciate all the input on it.
I think that a lot of people don't realize, and that's just like Tony was saying with the ethanol plant. A lot of people, you lead busy lives, kids, school, work, doing the grocery shopping, all those things that take up your daily life. It's hard to squeeze in one more thing. And a lot of people just do not realize what is going on until it's too late. And I don't know how many, I see a lot of faces here that weren't at the Planning Commission. I don't know how many of them got the letter that I sent out. But I'm sure that a lot of them probably did receive the letter I sent out last week, and that's why they're here, because they just didn't realize exactly what stage we're at until someone made them aware. And I realize it's a personal responsibility. You have to know when the meetings are. You have to make sure you make it. But sometimes, like I said, you just get busy, and until someone tells you, and now you see the response once they know.
Anytime.
Yes, sir.
This is really going to impact the community too. And I'm an environmental consultant, and I'm for renewable energy and all the different technologies and stuff. But I think the initial cost and all the infrastructure and everything is not going to weigh out in the end. So I think we really got to try to make a educated decision, and like the gentleman in the back with the 1-year moratorium, I think that would be